Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Glenn from Sight and Sound. I'll introduce you to the team in a couple of minutes' time when we get going. There is lots and lots and lots of people with us today. We hope, anyway, that all the registrants turn up. So we're going to spend a few minutes letting you in because it will take a few minutes to get going. So bear with us. It's only a couple of minutes to 3. So we'll allow you all in, and the numbers are going up nicely. Hope it's sunny where you are. Just for the people arriving now, we're just letting people into the room, and we've probably got about a quarter of that which we expect. So actually even maybe less than that. So I'll just let it tick over for a little while before we get going and introduce the session. Thank you for being with us today, exploring the world of assistive technology, which we live in, which we love. I'm going to introduce you to stuff. Hi, Kerpel, Walsall Council, right smack in the middle of the UK, about as far as you can get from water, I think, Walsall. Apart from the odd lake, of course. Still people coming in slowly, so I'll give it a little while longer. Oh, Zoom does filter you in slowly. Can't we open some more doors and let them in?
Social distancing, Glenn.
Oh, of course, yes. Silly
Got
old
to do it
me.
in stages.
Silly old me, yeah. Yeah, it's like coming in one at a time. You must be single file in the corridor, everybody. Yeah, still going up nicely. So, yep, I'll give it a couple more minutes. So welcome, everybody. I'm Glenn from Sight and Sound. Wow, I said start a few minutes beforehand. I should have started yesterday, I think, letting people in at this rate. And it's still going up the numbers at a reasonable pace, so I'm still going to hang on for another minute or two. Welcome people coming to the room at the moment. Glenn from Sight and Sound. Looking forward to this session with you today. And we let you in a few minutes early because we're trying to make sure this gets run in 60 minutes dead. Wow, going up fast again now. Keep coming, keep coming. I hope it's sunny where you are. I think it's sunny across the whole of the UK today. I'm here in London.
It's here. Just up the road from you, it's brilliant sunshine, clear sky.
Yes, someone's asked if we'll send the slides out, but the slide pack is enormous and too big to email out. So what I think we'll do, Sam, shake your head if I've got this wrong, but we can send a link, can't we? We transfer a link to out to attendees, I think.
Yep, that's fine. And also just to remind everyone that this session is being recorded as well. So you'll have access to it on YouTube later today.
Okay, the numbers are still going up. I'm gonna, what's the time now? 3:01. I'm gonna give it one more minute and then we'll get ourselves going because I'm keen to get going. Yes, I think we should see, thank you for those offering names from the Zoom list. We'll see who's attended from the registrants. So we'll have the email addresses. Of course, if there's a number of you sitting around a computer, then we won't get all of those. Yeah, if people could go onto mute should be bottom left-hand corner on your screen for the person, for Tracy who asked. Bottom left-hand corner, hopefully. Right, we're still going up. I'm going to get going because I think that obviously I'll be chattering on and people won't miss anything really important. So yes, you've got a chat box at the bottom of your screen, and if you use that to ask questions, I'll field them while my colleagues Tony, Sam, and Alan present. So if you move on to the first slide for us, Sam, let's start moving along. So hello, I'm Glenn Tukey from Sight and Sound Technology. Sight and Sound have been around for 43 years now, and we're best known for being the largest company in the technology area for blindness and low vision. Not so many people know that we look after tens of thousands of students in the main with literacy and behavioral challenges. So we are working with technology and support for them. We look after the audit, assessment, delivery of all of the equipment and solutions, but most importantly, for the training and support, because with all of this technology, if you don't know it and don't understand how to use it, then it's a complete waste of either yours or the government's, in some cases, money. So we get involved in all parts of the journey from start to finish in terms of disability technology. We're really pleased to be running this session today in collaboration with Skills for Care and Digital Social Care. It came about through a relationship that Sight and Sound have with a social enterprise called VisionBridge, and together we've been working on educating people in the areas of sight loss and literacy, and we've been working online with professionals and patients for a couple of years now, getting the word out and bringing some of this technology to you. And it's only a small, very small, tiny amount of technology that we have available, and it's a way of getting you introduced to it. So I'm really grateful for Skills for Care and Digital Social Care for bringing this session together for us and giving us access to you people. We're really keen to talk to you, and we're also keen to be around for you in the future if you need help. And at the end, we'll give you some places to go to get us, because we're very much hoping to strike up a relationship with professionals and support you in the world of assistive technology. Our session today is going to be case study led. We have a number of cases where we're going to go through the scenarios, look at the type of technology that could be used to provide independence, help people meet their goals, and we'll demonstrate some of it live. We'll talk about some of it. We'll show you some video clips as well, and then we'll show you how to find more information in the future. And without more ado, I'll hand over to Katie and Claire, and we'll get the session going. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. That's really nice of you, and good afternoon, everybody. Really excited to be here today and to see so many people joining us this seminar. So I'm Katie Thorne. I'm project lead for Digital Social Care. For those on the call who might not know who we are, we're a partnership between the Care Provider Alliance and Skills for Care, and we're funded by the NHS. And we provide a dedicated space to provide free information, guidance and support to adult social care providers across England on anything to do with technology and data sharing. All of our team have experience working in social care rather than necessarily technology background. So please do go to our website and get in touch if there's anything we can help you with. Over to you, Claire.
Thanks, Katie. I'm Claire Smelt. I'm a locality manager with Skills for Care and also a national project digital manager with the organisation. As some of you are already aware, because I recognise some names on the attendance list. And for those that don't know, Skills for Care, we create a well-led, skilled and valued adult social care workforce. But we actually have a very dedicated digital work programme, and we're looking at really growing and developing confident skills digital leaders moving forward, in particular this financial year, as well as supporting your frontline staff as well with their wider sector digital skills. Now, I know many of you are part of our registered manager networks. If you're not, please do link in with your registered manager networks as well. And to find out more information, we've got our website details there, but it's www.skillsforcare.org.uk. Over to you, Glenn.
Okay, Sam, I think you're kicking this off for us.
That's right. Yep.
Let's go.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. And hello, everyone. Good. So as Glenn mentioned, today's session is going to be case study led. We've got 4 scenarios that we're going to be exploring, and we've got a range of different solutions that we will be showing you that may hopefully support the individuals. So our first case study that we'll be looking at is Marnie. So Marnie is 45 years old. He's a civil servant. And some of Marnie's difficulties, so due to a brain tumour causing damage to the cerebellum, Marnie now struggles with abnormal eye movements, also known as nystagmus. Marnie encounters issues in his workplace due to blurred vision. His 3D vision is also affected, making it difficult to see the edges of steps or stairs. He also struggles with depth perception when picking up objects. And as part of his role, Marnie works on a variety of spreadsheets and documents and PDFs. Okay, so all of those facts, difficulties, and his background. Bear that in mind as we look through the technology solutions that may be able to support Marnie in his day-to-day life. Good, so let's have a look. Now, this is just a very general simulation of what somebody with nystagmus may or may not see, but you can see there very clearly the blurred or the rapid eye movements there, so causing the image to be severely blurred. And this is another simulation of somebody with quite severe blurred vision. So you can imagine in an office space, as this is Marnie is going to have some difficulty navigating around desks, chairs, colleagues, etc. Okay, now the technology solutions. So we've got a rogue graphic there, apologies, but we'll crack on with the first one. So first up, we've got the Smart Vision 2 premium mobile phone. Now this is a smartphone. Okay, it's an Android device, so it's not an iPhone, it's an Android platform. Okay, but this phone was made by a company called Capsys over in France, and it's specifically designed for somebody with a visual impairment. What that means is, okay, that it's obviously much more accessible. It has, as well as a touch screen, the top 2/3 of the mobile phone there is a touch screen, but it also has a tactile keypad. It has raised buttons, some braille dots as well on some of the keys, but also it has a full screen reader built into the phone, so the phone reads everything out loud for the user. All your menus, all your text messages, everything is read out loud. When you get a phone call, if that contact is saved into your phone, it tells you who's calling. Everything is read to you out loud. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't lock any features. So this phone can be used as a normal Android device. So you can go into the Google Play Store, you can download any apps that you like, etc. It's a fully functioning Android device, but obviously it's much more accessible. So for a working professional like Marnie, for instance, the ideal device as a mobile phone device. Good. Lots of other features built in there. Voice synthesizers, customable magnification as well for a low vision user, so you can magnify the screen, the text, etc. And yeah, lots of other features as well. Google Assistant is obviously built in, being an Android device, so you can speak to the phone and dictate any messages, etc. as well. So lots packed in to the Smart Vision 2 mobile phone. Next up, we've got the Zoomtext software, and Tony's actually going to talk us through Zoomtext in just a second. This is a piece of magnification software for the Windows platform. Tony's going to talk us through that in just a minute. Next up, we've got an app. Now, this is a free app which is available for iOS and Android. Okay, now this app would allow Marnie to convert any PDF documents, any Word documents, for instance, into audio. Okay, so you can also, on your mobile phone, you can download or you can export any files from your phone into the app, and then it converts it into audio, 50 different voices in 20 different languages. It will also give you a description of an image as well. So any images in your photo library, it will also give you an audio description, and it can be optimized for Braille output as well. So for any blind Braille users that use VoiceOver, for instance, on their iPhone, they can optimize this app to work in conjunction with a screen reader on a mobile phone like VoiceOver for Apple or TalkBack for an Android phone. Okay, so Natural Reader, it's a very popular text-to-speech application, and it's free. It does have a built-in in-app purchases to unlock certain features, but the actual bare bones of the app are free. Next up, we've got the Envision smart glasses. Now I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of these in just a second. There's again lots packed into this. This is a wearable text-to-speech device, okay, but it has a whole host of other features as well, like it has built-in video calling as well, and I'm going to run you through that in a second. And then finally, this is where the rogue graphic comes into play. We're going to be looking at portable video magnifiers, and Tony's also going to run us through these as well. These come in all different shapes and sizes. Okay, some of them will purely magnify, some will magnify and read any text out loud for you as well. High contrast, high definition screens, as I said, are varying in size. Some are touch screen, some have tactile buttons, but Tony will talk us through all of those in just a second. But the key being there is that they are portable devices. So Marnie can take that home with him, take it to work, on holiday, to whatever it might be. It's a portable low vision solution. Great. So I think what we'll do first is we'll let Tony talk you through the Zoomtext software, and then I'll demonstrate the Envision glasses for you. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Zoomtext Magnifier Reader. This is a software package that works with Windows and any Windows application. It enables the user at keystroke. Interestingly enough, everybody was looking for the mute button. There's always a keystroke to operate Windows, Alt A for that one. But Zoomtext can be operated with your mouse, but preferably with shortcuts. So with the shortcuts, you can increase, decrease the magnification. You can enable and disable certain features, which I'll go through in a moment. It also, the reader part of it, it will also talk to you and give you audio feedbacks to what's on your computer screen. If you move on, next one, Sam. So Zoomtext goes from 1 times to 60 times magnification. 6 times is quite a common zoom level to have your Zoomtext at. 20 times we would consider, particularly if you're using a laptop, to be the maximum. Anything above 20 times magnification gets a bit difficult to manage because the screen is filled with 1 letter, for example. So 20 times we suggest as the maximum, although it will go larger. Perhaps if you've got a bigger screen, it might be more useful above that. So that's the magnification. You can bring this in or out with a keystroke, or there's a control panel which has got a spin wheel, as you can see there with the 6, the up and down arrows to do it that way as well. Next slide, Sam. Okay, so I mentioned various enhancements. Color combination is very important. Not everybody can work with a computer screen the way Windows lays it out. So you can change the text, the background, the icons, the whole color combinations that Windows force you to use, you can change using Zoomtext. And you can make it application specific as well. So if you prefer a negative image for creating your documents in Word, you can have a background and white text. Then as soon as you start, if you set that application specific setting, as soon as you start Word, it'll come up with those color combinations. Normally Zoomtext will be seen as a whole screen magnified, but there are other ways of doing it. In the bottom left, you'll see it says lens, and that little black rectangle will follow your mouse pointer around, and everything underneath it is magnified to the level that you select, rather than the whole screen, which can be quite useful when you need to get a perspective of where you are on the screen. Spreadsheets, I think Manny uses spreadsheets. Just below that word lens, you'll see line. That gives you in effect a magnifying ruler, which is particularly useful with spreadsheets. You can enhance the mouse pointer. Nothing worse than trying to find the mouse pointer on a cluttered desktop. You can enhance that various ways. Big yellow, giant green. The one we feature there is quite useful. It's a red arrow with a red circle around it. So there's no chance you're going to lose your mouse pointer. There's also one that's not shown on here, which is the cursor. If you've got a screen full of text, very, very difficult to lose the little flashing vertical line, which is your cursor. So you can enhance that in a number of ways, just as you can with the mouse pointer. And these can be turned on or turned off with a shortcut, just as easily as that. Thanks, Sam. I mentioned to you the reader part of it. This will work with your mouse pointer. You can have it echo any text that's underneath the mouse pointer. So as you move around a desktop, for example, you hover over some text under an icon and it will read that to you. So there's no need to worry about what does that icon mean? What does the text say? It can be read to you. When you're looking at menus or ribbons in your Word or your Excel or other applications, you can just hover the mouse pointer over that text and again it'll read it to you. Now there's an additional feature which is the keyboard echo. So as you're typing text in your document, your email or whatever, it will repeat every character you type. So if you type H, it'll tell you H-E-L-L-O space, full stop, whatever. It'll repeat that to you. It will also do that with words instead. It can be quite annoying when you get every single letter read to you, but you do need some support. So rather than read H-E-L-L, etc., it will wait for you to hit the punctuation mark or a space bar, and then it will say hello. And so it goes on. Or you can have a combination of both. Somebody learning to use the computer or not quite so sure with their keystrokes or their typing skills, perhaps they might want both. Now, the other thing the app reader, the reader can do is work through a feature called App Reader. Now, this, as its name suggests, reads the application. So there we're showing a Word document. You put your cursor at the top of the page, invoke the App Reader with a keystroke or the control panel, and it will read the text to you in a good, natural speaking voice, and you've got full control over what it reads. You can change the way it shows it on the screen so that you could have a black background, high contrast yellow text, vary the magnification levels, vary the spacing and things like that, so that you can see it that much better as it reads it to you. Thanks. Is there one more?
No, we're good, Tony.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. So what I'll do now is I'll very, very quickly show you the Envision glasses, everyone. So here we are.
Charging disconnected.
There we go.
Current battery level is at 49%.
Okay, 49%. There we go. So here we are. I've got the Envision smart glasses here. Okay, this is a wearable text-to-speech device, as I mentioned. I'm going to whiz through this because we have so pushed for time today, but there's so much packed into this device. But the two main features are text-to-speech. So Envision can read printed, digital, or handwritten text. Handwritten is key. No other text-to-speech device has been able to do that until now. So text-to-speech, and also has built-in video calling. Angela's just said the sound quality is not very good. I do apologise, Angela. Is anybody else having issues? Glenn, are you picking me up all right? Glenn?
I am, Sam.
Yes, sorry, yep.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Good. Just wanted to check. We got an issue with the chat box there. Good. So let me just quickly demonstrate the text-to-speech device for you. So we've got a touch pad on the side of the glasses here, which obviously this is how we control Envision. So I'm just going to read. I've got the Envision glasses connected to a Bluetooth speaker as well, so that you can hear the audio, hopefully, a little bit better. So I've actually got a handwritten birthday card here, which I'm going to have read to me. So using the touchpad, okay, I'm going to find the read feature.
Identify. Read.
Read, double tap to go in.
Instant text.
I've got instant text.
Scan text.
Oh, I've got scan text. I want to use the scan text feature for this one. Double tap to go in.
Scan text. Scan text. Scan text.
There we go. I'm in. I'm going to get a series of beeps now, which is the text detection. So for somebody with no vision, this will give them an idea of how much text is in front of the camera.
A faster frequency of beeps means that more words are detected. Double tap to scan the text.
Okay, here we go. So when I feel like I've got a decent amount of beeps, I'll double tap the side of the touchpad. Here we go. Now it may pick up some of the text behind me, so we'll see.
Reader, to Lindsay. Hope you have a lovely birthday. Love from Linda plus Keith XX.
There you go.
Telephone 016. Empty.
Hang on, we don't need the phone number. But there you go. So that's picked up the birthday card there. Handwritten as well. Obviously, granted, my mum's handwriting is quite neat. So, you know, don't ask it to read your doctor's handwriting. However, it will pick up handwritten text very accurately. Obviously, printed text as well, it will pick up no problem. So I'll try that again.
Swipe down, scan text. Scan text.
There we go. I'll get another series of beeps. There we go. I know that there's lots of text in front of the camera. Somebody with no vision. Double tap when I'm ready. Takes a few seconds to process.
Reader, XYZ, a commitment to continual product refinement and innovation means that our solutions are the best available. What's more, they're simple to set up and easy to use.
There you go. I'm going to tap to pause it.
About US.
There you go. So there we go. It's reading this document very clearly. It's starting at the top there, commitment to continual product refinement and innovation, etc. You can hear the quality of the speech. The dictation is very, very good as well. And the speed is very, very good as well. So it's a fantastic text-to-speech device. Again, somebody like mine, a working professional, there's so many uses for these glasses. I'm going to very quickly just show you the video calling feature as well. The features that I won't be able to demonstrate today are, for instance, it's got facial recognition built in. It's got scene description, so mine can take a shot of a room that he's in and it will give him a description of what he's looking at. It's got a currency reader. It's also got things like object detection and an explore mode, so it will tell him objects in the room. But that's for another demonstration. But let me just quickly show you the video calling feature.
Home, read, identify, find, call.
So what mine can do is he can call a friend, a relative, a colleague through the glasses. Okay, and by obviously using the camera on the front of the Envision glasses here, the person that he's calling can see exactly what Marnie can see on their smartphone. Okay, so this is perfect for somebody that would need sighted assistance if they're at home and they need help, I don't know, whatever it might be, finding an object or separating the whites from the darks with the washing, for instance, or if they were in a public place and they needed some help, if they were lost, needed some guidance, they could call a friend or a relative and they could get that very, very easily. So I'll quickly make a call.
Call an ally.
Call an ally. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to call myself.
Tony.Shrub at site Sam Colson.
There we go. So Sam Colson.
Connecting with Sam Colson.
Now I've just got a notification on my smartphone here, which is telling me that somebody's trying to call me from Envision. There we go. I'm just going to turn the microphone off so we don't get any feedback. There we go. Now on my smartphone here, I've got the feed from the glasses camera coming through on my smartphone. Yeah. So you can see around my office. There we go. So you can obviously see anybody that would need some sighted assistance, how easily that is done. Okay, you can quickly call somebody through the glasses and they can see exactly what you can see on their smartphone. Okay, and then to end the call, just swipe down.
Swipe down again to X call ended.
Perfect.
Sam Colson.
There we go. So in a very, very brief nutshell, that is the Envision glasses. There's so much more packed in there, but I obviously don't have time to show you today. But what I'm going to do now is
Sam.Colson at sightandsound.co.uk.
Sorry, one second. I'm going to hand you quickly back over to Tony to demonstrate the magnifiers before we move on to our next scenario. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Sam. You're going to stop the screen share.
At sightandsound.co.uk.
Sorry. There we go. Yep.
Okay, right. Let's just spotlight mine then. Don't think I can. Can you spotlight me, Sam?
Sorry, one second. There you go.
That's better. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Let's quickly go through handheld magnifiers. These are electronic video magnifiers. I've got 3 in the Ruby range. This is one of them, varying screen sizes. And I've got another one, the compact, which I'll show you in just a second. So they're handheld. They're quite light, compact. They have a handle that will come out. It's difficult. Let me show you. That's better. Okay, I'll switch it on. Now I can use this as a handheld magnifier. more often than not in the supermarket, for example, to check prices, sell-by dates, ingredients, things like that. If I'm at home, want to read, in this example, a magazine, let's fold the handle away and bring out this reading stand. There we go. So it's a 45-degree angle reading stand, which makes it nice and comfortable for me to read. So starting here, I can just track the magnifier, as you would with any magnifying glass, across the text to read it. Now on this side, as Sam said, these are tactile. There are little raised bumps on. I can take the magnification down continuously or up to suit me. I've mentioned to you with Zoomtext color combinations being important. So we've got a high contrast black and white there. Might prefer it in the negative, or even blue on yellow on blue. There's a whole range of other colors. I've cut them down to just a few. That one's particularly good for macular degeneration, I am told. Okay, I can only go what people tell me. The last one, now that is full color. So if I wanted to look at pictures, there you go. I can even look at pictures, zoom in, zoom out to my heart's content. So that's the 5-inch Ruby XL HD. From there, we go up to a 7-inch, which is this one. Let me move this camera up so we can see a bit better. Should do it. That's better. Okay, so this is a 7-inch. Again, it's got a 45-degree reading angle. No handle, a bit large for that, but there's no reason to stop you holding it in that fashion. And it will give you a certain amount of distance vision. Incidentally, these will all turn themselves on automatically when I open the reading stand, and similarly they'll shut down. But all the controls on these are the same. So the plus and the minus on this side to increase, decrease the magnification, change the color combinations. I'm going the other way this time. So high contrast, black and white, negative, blue and yellow, yellow and black, whichever suits. Let's go one more. And again, pictures, photographs, whatever. Subtle difference with this one is the way the camera works. It pivots. So I'm going to spin it round 180 degrees. And there we go. And that is what's behind me. There's my camera I'm using. So you could use it. I'm not going to do it. My colleague does, but you could use it to put your lippy on in the morning, mascara or whatever. I don't say shave because someone will cut their throat and blame me for it. So we'll leave that one alone. So that's the 7-inch across there. So that's a Ruby 7 HD. And then finally in the Ruby range, we've got a little baby one, which is this, which is a 4.3-inch screen. It doesn't have that reading angle, but there's nothing to stop you reading down on it like that. Let's take the magnification down a bit. But all the features remain the same. Okay, when you're out and about, the handle on this one flips out like that, and that's how you can use it. It's a bit difficult. That's better. Yeah. Now the other thing with this particular one, because of that style of handle, we can prop it up like that. Now this doesn't come across with this camera too well. Oh, that's better. And then it's been suggested you could thread a needle. In fact, my colleague has done this. We do another scenario where a woman does cross stitch. He has threaded the needle behind here. In fact, I know somebody that ties fishing flies in exactly that way. So they're the Rubies. So you've got 4.3, 5-inch and 7-inch. Now this one is the biggest of them all. I'm going to struggle here because I can't get the right camera angles. Yes, I can. This is a 10-inch. Okay, so it can take a little bit longer to start up. This doesn't have any controls along it. They're all touch screen controls, so we can increase the magnification. We can decrease it. Again, we can change the colors. I can also use pinch gestures to change the magnification. But there's one feature on this that's not on the others. I'll show you that. You notice this blue bar across the top? That will ride up. It'll change the image on there to full page. That's now looking for a page of text. Let's do it this way. So if I put that text within that rectangle, Press that, touch that button there. It's just taking a picture of that image. This is it processing. Now, obviously, the more text, the longer it will take to process.
This summer, discover something that you didn't know exists. Julia and Stuart, owners of Wheelays Boat Hire at Parvis Wharf, are a lovely couple whose passion is...
So I can pause it, I can continue, I can move forwards or backwards, I can change the colors, just as we did with everything else, or I can change the magnification so that I can follow it as it reads.
They look forward to having a boat hire.
If I press the cross, it goes back and I can scan another page. Or alternatively, I can go back to it being a magnifier. So see, I'll put that way. Go back to being a magnifier and use it the way I used all the others. Sorry about that angle. It doesn't show too clearly. That's a marvel of webcams. So that's the Untitled Compact 10. It's a 10-inch and it reads to you. There is a 6-inch, slightly smaller. And the others are the Rubies. All video magnifiers, all handheld. And extremely useful to all types of people with low vision. Back to you, Sam.
That's great. Thank you, Tony. Perfect.
We have
So
to pick up the pace a bit, boys, I think.
yeah, we've got lots more to get through. I have a feeling we are going to run over, but obviously this is being recorded, so if you need to drop out, then obviously that is fine. Good. So just a quick overview of the solutions there that we've looked at. Lots packed in to help Marnie with his nystagmus in the workplace. Now I'm going to hand over to Alan, who's going to talk us through our next scenario. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Hi there, everybody. My name's Alan. I'm one of the assistive technology trainers from Sight and Sound. So I'm going to move on to the next scenario. We've got Jonah. Jonah is an 18-year-old student. He's studying philosophy and ethics. Jonah was diagnosed with dyslexia during his secondary school. And he has also been experiencing depression, social anxiety during the long period of COVID isolation, which I think we can all relate to in this crazy 12 months. Jonah is also a keen musician and he composes and edits his own music. Now, one of the key components as an assistive technology trainer is providing a safe and inclusive space for students and for anybody who's seeking our services. And what we like to do is make sure that everyone is feeling settled, happy, and they're feeling safe, that they can take in the information that we're going to be training them on about the software and technology that will allow them to reach their full academic potential. What we're going to do is we're going to look, if you could just do the next slide, Sam. We're going to be looking at the potential solutions that Jonah might have to face when he's at his studies. With his dyslexia, I can speak from personal experience. It can be a bit overwhelming in the sense of you want to improve your situation, you want to get more education, but there are obstacles in the way. The university have implementations in place, needs assessments, to make sure that the students have the right access to the right technology and the right support. So one of the first kind of potential solutions that we can be looking at for Jonah is a web-based platform called Find My Flow. It looks at different component parts of the studying, whether it be research, essay writing, and it builds an effective study habits using assistive technology and study skills. It's all tailored by the needs assessor, by the DSA students, where we're looking at what the need assistive technology software the student's going to be using and how they can learn about the technology. Although they're going to do their training, there's regular updates, but the student might need some more training, or they can actually go and look at it on Find My Flow themselves. The Find My Flow looks at developing a customized learning plan where the student can recap, reinforce, and develop their own skills. There's lots of little tools like doing quizzes, which we can look at when we look at the video. Next one. Perfect. Right, so in the remote training sessions, what we like to do is we like to make sure that the student is feeling comfortable in what they are looking to achieve. We get a good 10-15 minute conversation about what their aims are, where their struggles are, and how we can kind of tailor the assistive technology to overcome any obstacles that they might be facing, whether it be a mental health condition or a specific learning difficulty. We deliver the hours in a very good, we have good communications with the student in the sense of what they're comfortable with. They do have a recommended set amount of hours, but we are very flexible in the sense of if a student has ADHD and they might not be able to sit down and focus for lengthy periods of time, we're very flexible in the sense of working with the student to make sure that their needs are met. It can be done face-to-face, or obviously with COVID, there has been restrictions there, and it can also be done remotely as well. There have been situations where we can go into the university campuses and deliver the training there. So there's a very flexible approach pre-COVID, and hopefully soon we'll be able to get back in up and running and get out in the ground again. Okay, next one, Sam, please. Right, so Claro Read Plus. It's a very useful tool for students who have dyslexia, or maybe English isn't their first language, where it has lots of different little assistive functions. For example, it gives you the ability to scan information from the page. It's got a read back function, spell check homophones, and there's also an ability to convert text into audio format, which is very handy if a student has dyslexia and they want to proofread their own work. They're able to listen to the actual text that they've written, which will allow them to kind of increase their accuracy, because speaking from experience as someone who has dyslexia, when you're reading your own work, it will make sense to you. But by listening to it, you can hear if you're using a specific word too often, or the paragraph is slow if the student focuses on a sentence by sentence structure. And there is also the ability to screen capture on PDFs, Word documents, and basically whatever on screen. Okay. Right, Glean we have is an online platform. It's an audio note-taking a piece of software that allows the students to have peace of mind knowing that if they're in a face-to-face situation or a remote situation when they need to be taking down information, it can become a bit overwhelming to be concentrating on the lecturer's information that they're talking about, taking in the notes, and they might have a book as well. So by using Glean, it allows you to record your conversations. Also, it allows you to import the PowerPoint presentation that usually comes with a lecture, and it also provides a space to have their own personalized notes and prioritize those notes, whether it be important, if it's a task, if they're starting a new heading, which we can look at shortly. Okay. Right, and Dragon Naturally Speaking, one of my personal favorites. Dragon Naturally Speaking is a fantastic piece of software which allows you to dictate your talk to text. So if you are, if you've got any mobility issues, or you have any speech issues, or maybe your typing speed isn't up to scratch, then Dragon Naturally Speak allows you to speak your words. Again, speaking from experience, I used it back in many years ago when I was at university. It allows you to increase your accuracy because it doesn't have the option to do spelling errors. It will recognize your words and it will write it down for you. So there you go. You've got rid of the accuracy issues. You've also increased your work capacity. I mean, personally, I could, I know it says 3 times faster, but I think it's a little bit more than that, to be honest. I mean, it would take me a good few days to write down a 2,000 word essay. Using Dragon, you can realistically write a 2,000 word essay in 25 minutes, half an hour, because as I say, you are just talking your words. You've also got other aspects of Dragon as well, where you can control the computer with your voice, open up, you know, your emails, control your mouse. If you wanted to go into the BBC News, you can literally just say open Google Chrome, BBC News, and it'll take you there. When it comes, these kind of products and these kind of software packages are all tailored to look at how it can impact Jonah in a positive way, that any kind of obstacles that he might be facing, whether it be from a mental health condition or a specific learning difficulty, that he has the same opportunities that students who don't face these obstacles by having that extra support with the different programs. Okay.
That's great. Thanks, Alan. Because of our time, we have probably only got time to demonstrate one piece of the software, so it's up to you. You choose. But
Right. Well, I would say we could go with Glean. Glean's one of my favourites. Right. Okay. So I'll
go for it.
Right. I'll just close my Claro then. Perfect. So I'm just sharing my screen now. So, yeah, sharing it. Can you see now, Sam?
Great. Yeah, we've got you. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Right, everyone. This is Glean. It's a very user-friendly piece of kit, to be honest. It's a straightforward homepage. This is your Glean homepage. Now, if a student has multiple topics, like say if someone was studying social sciences, politics, history, biology, the different sections of the study can be put in here by organizing new collections. So say, for example, if I was to put in history, and that would be a new event, and then we'll go back. So now we've got a history page. That will allow the student to have more control and more organization when it comes to when they go to look back at the work that they've already saved. What we'll do now is we'll have a wee look at the actual a project as if we've done it. I've done one already, looking at making sure we've got one. So we've got time travelers for beginners, quite a wee interesting topic. So this is your PowerPoint presentation here. Now, you obviously have to get access to your PowerPoint before access to your PowerPoint so that you can upload it onto Glean to the project. You also have the ability to record your audio as well. So what we'll do now is I will start recording and we'll do microphone. Now, as you can see, there is a little bar here that goes across. Now, this is picking my voice up. And if it was in the situation where the student was in a lecture or even a remote session, they could record what has been said by the lecturer. Now, at the usual with the first kind of introduction to lectures, they might not necessarily be talking about anything that's important, you know, welcome in, how everybody's doing. Now, this is what these wee tabs down here are for. You have got the header tab, the important tab, the review tab, and the task tab. Now, this gives the student more control on how they want to, when they go back to listen again, that they don't need to listen to another hour-long lecture, where they can prioritize the important information. So if it was the first couple of minutes was just about chit-chat, general welcome to the class, the student could then press header and say start of lesson. By pressing the header tab and then pressing enter, that then separates the audio file. So this whole section that the student might not necessarily need is separated from the actual important stuff. Now, if the lecturer starts speaking about something that's really important, whether it be exams or essays or something that they need to review, they can press the important tab, important info. And then, so from that point, there is now been a note created after the start of the lesson. So again, it's prioritizing, it's organizing, and it's making things flow in a more streamlined process. It's the same thing for review. If the student's maybe not focusing, if they're not paying attention, and if they know this themselves, like say for example, Jonah's staring into space and he's not really paying attention, he could put a wee review, check again. So he knows that when he goes back to study again, to listen to the project again, that all the information is there and it's highlighted for review. Check again. Okay. And it's the exact same with tasks. If it's a task for a class project, you can put in the note of class project, press enter, and again, it's all organized and it's all in a streamlined fashion. If the student is not able to focus in the sense of they might not be able to keep up with the information coming in and also relaying the information in text, what you can do is press this little lightning button here, and it takes away the notes themselves. But what it does do is it gives you a chance to actually press the tabs themselves without having the added pressure of writing in the notes. Now, we all bear in mind that all the audio is still being recorded here, so they can access this information at any time and go back and put in their own personalized notes. So again, if it's something important, once the lecture has finished with the slide, all they have to do is press post slide, and all that information is now added to that single slide. And it's the exact same for the next slide. You would be taking down the notes, you'd be highlighting the notes, the important information, and you'd be posting the slide. Once you've finished, you would obviously press stop. And at that point, all that information is now in that project, which can then be put into the collection depending on what the topic is. Okay, pretty straightforward. We have nothing but amazing feedback when students are using the Glean. It can be used offline, so the Jonah wouldn't need to have internet access. What happens as soon as the Jonah would go online, then all the information would be uploaded to the Glean platform. Okay.
That's great. Thank you, Alan.
No
what we're going to have to do actually is jump straight into our probably final scenario, which will be Sandeep. So I'll hand over to Tony, who very quickly, I imagine,
Thanks,
take
Sam.
us through. Cheers.
Okay, right, let's crack on with this one. So Sandeep is a 20-year-old student studying criminology and law. Sandeep's problem is light perception only in both eyes. He is eligible for DSA support. That's Disabled Students Allowance. That will fund the equipment he needs to get through university if he's in higher education. He's using both digital and hard copy resources and is expected to provide printed coursework. So quite high expectations. Now, Sandeep enjoys reading printed and electronic Braille. Next slide, Sam. Okay, so there's a representation of how Sandeep might, and I stress might, see the world. Nobody can know except him. Potential solutions. Okay, we said he needs to read hard copy, so books, worksheets, things like that. Pearl Camera and Open Book will enable him to capture the image from the pages and convert it into a document on his screen, which Open Book will then read back to him. He does have the ability to edit that document if he so desires, not that we're suggesting plagiarism at all, but anyway, it's got accurate text recognition. That camera, incidentally, is quite portable, lightweight, will fold up into a little carry case, so extremely useful when it's hard copy printed text that is not accessible otherwise to Sandeep. Next one, Sam. Okay, the Braille Sense 6. It was mentioned that he's a Brailleist. The Braille Sense 6 is a Braille note taker, as its generic term. It runs on Android 10. It will give him all sorts of features: word processing, emails, web browsing, media player, daisy players, a whole range of applications available to him. In addition, because it runs on Android, any of the Android apps that are out there, although he's got to be careful that they will be accessible in Braille, because a lot of them won't be, but the built-in apps certainly will be. it includes Google Classroom. So if that's going to be useful, then he can link in with Google Classroom and everything like that. But extremely useful and powerful Braille note taker. Next one, Sam. So again, when it comes down to printed work, it's all well and good. He's supposed to produce hard copy. It's all well and good having printed work, no good to Sandeep. So he can emboss his work in Braille. So he creates it either on his computer or even on the Braille Sense, and he can have it in inverted commas printed through his Braille embosser, in this case the Index Basic Braille embosser. So everything comes out in Braille quickly, efficiently, and that gives him his course notes. Jawscreen Reader, we saw Zoomtext earlier, which is a magnification program. This Jawscreen Reader is, as its name suggests, it reads everything and more that is on your screen, even text that a sighted person wouldn't be able to see behind an image, for example. Jaws will read to them. It's all run by shortcuts. Remember the Alt A for your mute. Jaws is run entirely by shortcuts, and it can be extremely efficient and increase somebody with no vision can increase their work output. I think have we got a video of that coming up or not? I don't know. Okay, so picture this. You've got a Braille display, so a strip which has 40 cells, 40 Braille cells on it, and a Braille keyboard to navigate around that. Dock it onto a device that's got a Windows 10 chip in it, and you've got a fully functioning Windows 10 computer for a Braille user. That is the L Braille. The Focus 40 has been around for many, many years as a Braille display. There are various lengths, 40, 80, 14, but docking them, well, the 14 and the 40, certainly not the 80, to the L Braille will, as I've just said, give you a portable computer running on Windows 10, extremely powerful, and supports all of the Windows applications that you're likely to require. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Tony. So obviously, yeah, we are short for time. So what we'll probably do is we'll end with this scenario by showing you a video of our colleague Stuart, who will give you a demonstration of the Jawscreen Reader software. So I'll hand over to Stuart, who is a Jaws user, who will be demonstrating the software for us.
Hi, my name is Stuart Lawler. I'm Business Development Manager for Sight and Sound Technology here in Ireland, and I'm also Head of Content Creation for the company. Now, I'm here today to talk about screen readers because I also happen to be a screen reader user. And in this case, we're talking about JAWS. So JAWS is an application that sits on your computer and that captures information as it travels to the screen and outputs it in synthetic speech. It's a very efficient and effective way for a blind or low vision person to access information. In its most basic form, it can read text as you navigate through the screen. So if we're on the Windows desktop, for example,
Folder view list view Outlook 57 of 76.
It reads icons as I move around.
Weak application part 1. Weak WhatsApp. Publisher.
Or if I want to search for an application and open Word, for example,
Word app. Press right to switch preview.
I can do that by pressing enter. Email has become a core part of everyone's working life, and I know in my case, I tend to live in Microsoft Outlook. Well, luckily, JAWS works seamlessly with Outlook. So here I am in my inbox, and I'm flicking through my messages, and there's an unread message here. Somebody I've contacted is out of the office. I want to know when she might be back, so let's ask JAWS to read this message.
Out of office me, field of message plain text. I am on annual leave from the 4th, 17th August 2020 and will have limited access to my emails for this.
So I know when she's back, and I'm going to press escape to close my message.
Inbox.
Now I do need to check my calendar for a meeting on Friday because I need to check if I'm available at 12 noon. So I'm going to quickly go to my calendar.
Go to calendar.
And I'm going to arrow over to Friday.
Friday, 18th September 2020. One event, one busy.
I have one event. I'm not sure what it is, so let's find out.
Julian Jackson podcast interview, 10 o'clock to 10:45. Friday, 18th September 2020. Time busy. Locate.
So I'm meeting someone at 10 o'clock for a podcast interview, but it's only going to take 45 minutes, so I can slot in a meeting at 12 o'clock. Well, the internet has become a key part of all our lives, hasn't it? And indeed, many people need to use the internet many times every day. In fact, a lot of work-based applications are now web-based, meaning that you use them from your web browser. Luckily, JAWS works with all the major web browsers on the market. In this case, I'm using it with Microsoft Edge, and I've already opened the Google homepage. I'm going to search for assistive technology research. And I'll press enter. When I get my search results and they've just come up, JAWS will quickly allow me to scan or skim the results to see what I might like. This is what we call, in screen reader terms, moving by headings.
Heading level, assist one volunteer today, heading, subscribe, heading, donate, heading, web search results, head, scholarly articles for assistive technology research, heading level 2 link, of instructional design and assistive technology research link, handbook of special education technology research link, e-form cited by 83 heading level.
I can easily flick through these search results, pressing enter on the one I need to access and interrogate it further. Here's how JAWS works in Microsoft Word, a word processor used by so many people to do so many things every day. Well, in its most basic form, it can read the documents I have on screen.
We are looking at how screen reading technology like JAWS can interact with standard applications such as those found on the Microsoft Suite.
Now, if I want to interrogate that document a little more, I might want to see, for example, what size font and what is the font characteristics of what I'm currently writing in. So I'll ask JAWS to give me some info on the font.
14 point, black on white, Arial, normal style, line spacing, 0 lines.
So I'm using 14-point Arial, which is fine. The word JAWS in this document, I want to highlight or bold it to make it stand out.
Interact with, can, JAWS.
There's the word JAWS. I'm going to highlight it,
JAWS.
And I'm going to bold it.
Bolded, 14 point, black.
And JAWS has confirmed for me that that word has been bolded. And finally, at the top of this document,
Assistive tech.
I have a line that says Assistive Tech. I want to make that into a heading,
Assistive tech.
And I want to center it so that it stands out as the title of the document. I'll now ask JAWS to give me characteristics to verify that.
16 points, steel blue 4 on white, delivery light, heading 1 style, line spacing, 0 lines, paragraph formatting, centered out.
So I can tell that my document is now centered and ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Stuart. And there we are. Those are our 5 solutions that we've looked at. Sorry, we would have liked to have explored a few of them a little bit more, but time has beat us. Yeah, obviously, just to mention as well, Stuart is a JAWS user. Stuart has no vision. He's an accomplished JAWS user as well, hence why the speed of his JAWS screen reader was so fast. That can be slowed down. But yeah, Stuart doesn't really listen to the full sort of extent of the information given by JAWS. He just picks up the odd word as he has been using it for so many years. But yes, that is the JAWS screen reader. So what we'll do now is I'll hand back to Glenn to tie things up. That's all right, Glenn.
Yep. So we've run you through 3 different solutions, 2 visually impaired and 1 literacy learning type challenges, and shown you some of the technology on offer that we use to support and help the people that are using them. It really is just a very small proportion of the solutions are available, and I feel we've rushed through them a little bit in this hour as well. So if people are keen to see more, we could always run another session with another look at it as well, because there is so much more to see. There are places you can go to get more information. You can download a smartphone app, Android and iOS, called WHAT-AT, WHAT-AT. That will allow you to see a wider range of these solutions put against the conditions, mapped onto the conditions they have. You go to our website and you can find information there. And yes, you can buy all of these privately. We are here to support private users, and we support, there's no obligation, free of charge demonstrations, but some of these solutions are funded by Student Finance England for the DSA and by Department of Work and Pensions for employment. So there is government money on offer for a small amount of people. You can go to our YouTube channel, and there's lots of videos, short 5-minute videos to longer webinars on a range of different subject matter that we've covered very briefly here today. And you can call us and find us at sales@sightandsound.co.uk. And the guys here who are trainers, technologists, specialists will come out and work with you anywhere in the NHS, anywhere in your professional establishments to help you with people who you think might benefit from some of this. But yes, certainly privately funding is what we do, really. So here's where you can find us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying on, and hopefully you enjoyed the session. And yes, we'd happily run it again with another set of assistive technology if that works for you.
And Glenn, I think it's important to mention as well, obviously, Claire and Katie, we are planning to run more of these sessions over the next few months, aren't we? So yeah, anything that we couldn't cover today, unfortunately, we will obviously cover and more in later sessions. So
yeah, thanks for reminding me, Sam. Yes, this is the first of a number of series we're putting together. So we'll factor that in as well. Thanks for staying, everybody, and thank you, team, and Katie and Claire for putting this on with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Katie and Claire. Good stuff.
And yeah, I'm not sure who's in control, but I'll see you all very soon. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And this session will be on YouTube later today as well for anybody that would like to send it to their colleagues, etc. Great. Thanks, everyone.